Alright, so cartoons have a lot of little hidden messages, don't they? Like, all of old shows I've seen, surely subliminal messages. I've seen some things I didn't get until now. And then I find, like, accounts on the internet showing these things.
Like Jimmy Neutron's dad.
Sitting on a banana. It changed his life. Childhoods.
One time I sat on a banana and it changed my life forever.
And they just sit there looking so disturbed.
It's not something you tell your family.
No. There's also once on, like, Fairly Odd Parents, where I actually remember this one. Timmy was, like, going on the computer and, like, found a picture of Mr. Crocker in, like, a dress or something. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And his dad comes in and is like, "Whoa, you're not supposed to be on those types of websites." And he's like, "But it's my teacher." and then Bud is just like, "Well, he does look pretty." And Timmy's just like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
The shit, Dad.
Weird stuff.
Just freaking Nick. Nickelodeon does not give a shit. Neither did Cartoon Network 10 years ago. Once in apparently in the old Dexter's Laboratory cartoon. Remember that? I loved it.
Dude, oh my god.
I loved that.
One episode. I loved. Oh. Yes.
Apparently once, like, a hooker came into his lab. Yeah. Apparently there's, like, something in Powerpuff Girls where they, like, ate this little piece of candy and they, like, started floating around. They just got really happy. And, like, I never actually watched that show when I was younger. It came on once. I'm like, "Mom, I don't know how to change channel." So I was like 5.
I love Powerpuff Girls, dude.
I never really watched it.
I loved it.
It's like I just, like, saw the Weird Heart intro. I saw, like, one episode, like, years and years ago, probably 10 years. It was like a Christmas special.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, screw the show.
You see, there's one episode of Powerpuff Girls when the girls were like something about he accidentally made us in his lab or something.
Oh, yeah.
And that little girl was like, "Don't worry, I'm an accident too."
And he's just like, "What?" I love how children's cartoons just didn't give a shit 10 years ago. Now they couldn't get away with it. And sometimes they find a loophole. They don't get away with it as much. And there was once in that old Victorious, was it, that Nick show?
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, a teacher's like, how would you teens, like, do some things for money? And then they all just sit there and look at each other like these what faces. And then, like, the main girl, Victoria Justice, she's just like, "Get some details first."
Yeah.
Freaking Nickelodeon. They don't give a shit.
But then again, you can go way back to, like, The Lion King and, like, the dust or whatever that flew through the air and spelled the word sex. There's, like, there's some really old ones that happened that no one really cared about. Then there's the new ones that's even worse. Like that was an accident too.
Yeah, and I am so surprised. It took me 10.5 years to realize that all this time the Kanker sisters were raping the Eds.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
And Ed's a little confused with his sexuality.
Wait, what? I remember once, like, everyone, like, there's that one episode, it was like, boys will be Eds. And all the guys in the show were, like, looking at Naz.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, already, this is starting to sound weird. It's starting to, like, raise a few red flags. And then she walks off. And then they all start following. except for Ed. Everyone uses Ed as a doormat. They all just walk over Ed like he's a bridge. And then he stands up with his head all smashed. And he's like, I feel like a doormat. Would it be love?
And then there's the time when Ed
Oh, yeah.
Eddie
Oh, no.
Eddie had like a thing on the wall.
Yeah, win a date with Eddie. Sign here.
And then Ed signed it.
Yeah, and then he looked at him and it just.
Yeah,
So many jokes I didn't get at like 10 years old.
Ed's done some weird stuff between Eddie and Double D that you never really caught on to. So you never know, man.
I always watched that show when I was younger, and then it ended, and then a few years later, I started using the internet. At 10 years old, I started using the internet, and I'm like, oh my god, I finally found the show.
If any of you this is a may or may not question. If any of you may or may not have a real Necronomicon, then you should may or may not message me on something.
Something.
Just saying.
They don't even know what it is.
Comment if you may or may not have a Necronomicon that you don't want.
I may or may not have a Necronomicon. Wink.
Yes, do that exactly in the comments, and then I'll message you through YouTube. Thanks. Back to you, Jordan.
And the weather looks great down in